Match 24 of the Big Bash, the Brisbane Heat against the Sydney Sixers. Let's build our fantasy team on my 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPN Cricinfo. I'm Ronald Kapoor and Andrew McGlashan is all set to join me. Right, let's go to our pro tip for this one, and it's got some information around the Gabba. It's been bowler friendly recently with scores of 160 plus scores, scored only twice by the side batting first in the last 11 attempts. So make sure you have more bowling options now. Let's see what Andrew McGlashan, deputy editor of ESPN Cricinfo and watching the Big Bash closely in Australia, makes of that. Nasher, the Gabba, 160 plus scores, not too often, and more bowlers in your team. Do you like that pro tip?
Yeah, I do, based on the games we've seen so far. The pitch has certainly had a bit more in it. There's also been some overheads. I think playing a part at the Gabba, it was a bit drizzly in the last game. So yeah, I mean, we saw Mujib take 5 for in the last game. So certainly plenty on offer for the bowlers, and the lower scores generally mean that they have more of an impact in the outcome of the game as well. So I certainly think that's a wise idea, but I do think the pitches might improve a little bit over the next couple of games. So do just keep an eye out on some of the informed batters in both teams as well.
All right, let's go to the balance of our team, see how many bowlers we've gone in for. And before that, some player availability news. Jason Holder, the man of the match for the Sixers in their last game, will not be available for the rest of the tournament. At the time of recording, no other news on any players unavailable, but do check in closer to toss and final team 11s to confirm your fantasy side. Right, let's go to our top picks. Before that, a quick reminder on the My 11 Circle Fantasy app, 100 credits for every user to build their fantasy team, 4 categories of players to choose from: batsmen, bowlers, wicket keepers, and all-rounders. Every player's individual credit value is listed on the app. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from one team in any given contest. We'll also throw in 4 substitute options towards the end of this video, so watch out for those. Our captain choice is Daniel Hughes. Now, Hughes is certainly relished to the captain's role for the Sixers in this year's Big Bash. He's shown great form with the bat, joined second leading run scorer with 185 runs in 5 innings, striking at over 140, and that innings of 96 for 51 against the Melbourne Stars is his highest individual score in the league this season. Vice captain option for us is going to be Jack Wildermuth. Now, he's one of the safe options for vice captain, having not gone wicketless in his 4 innings yet. He's picked up 6 wickets at an incredible economy of just over 6 and over, and he's handy with the bat too, which is evident from that 11 ball 31 earlier this season. Good chance he might get to bat higher up the order. So our captain choice is Dan Hughes, vice captain Jack Wildermuth. They give you double and 1.5 times the points respectively, so pick them very carefully. Going to our top picks, Mujibur Rahman. Andrew McGlashan mentions that Mujib's been terrific already this season, and he did produce the Brisbane Heat's best bowling figures in their last outing, 5 for 15 against the Hurricanes at this venue, and he has been outstanding for Brisbane Heat as Mujibur Rahman. Steve O'Keefe features as well. He's been a regular whenever the Sixers play, has the veteran left-arm spinner, one of the most experienced spinners in the league, and he's been producing some match-winning spells. 14 wickets from his last 9 games at an average of just over 14, and against a team which has been struggling against spin, we do believe Stephen O'Keefe is a must-pick. Dan Christian as well, another BBL veteran who has hit top form in this edition. He's picked up 6 wickets at an average of just over 20 and scored 93 runs, striking at over 226. His 16 ball 50 against the Strikers earlier this season is the second fastest 50 in Big Bash history, and it also helped him win the Man of the Match award. So rounding off our top picks, Dan Hughes as captain, Jack Wildermuth as vice captain, Mujibur Rahman, Stephen O'Keefe, and Dan Christian wrap up our top picks. Nasher, what do you make of those?
It's hard to leave any of those guys out, isn't it? But one name I would throw in for the mix is Josh Philippe. I think he always has to be considered when the Sixers are playing. He's such a clean striker. He's wicketkeeper as well, so he'll pick you up some extra points from his work behind the stumps. 48 off 30 balls, I believe, is his previous innings, so he's striking them well. So I think you always have to have him in serious consideration, perhaps as a VC, vice captain option, or even as a captaincy option. I mean, Daniel Hughes is having a terrific tournament, but you just think Philippe's dynamic batting at the top of the order is going to have an impact on this tournament as in a big way as it's going on. So he'd be someone I'd find quite hard to leave out of one of my top picks when these two teams meet.
All right, brilliant. Yep, you got Josh Philippe, who's always a regular feature of the Sixers play, but Nasher makes a valid point on considering him as either captain or vice captain too. Let's go to our differential picks. Carlos Brathwaite features. He's been an exceptional bowler in the Big Bash with 18 wickets in 12 games, striking once every 13.8 deliveries. and he's gone wicketless on just the 2 occasions. Though his batting skills haven't yet come to the fore, when they do, he can get you points with bat and ball. So Carlos Brathwaite there, so too Ben Washes in our differential picks. The left-arm pacer started the tournament with a bang, getting a 3 and a 4-wicket haul in his first couple of games. Last 3 games, though, form seems to have dipped, but we'd expect he's due for a big one, and maybe the surface of the Gabba is likely to assist Ben Washes' style of bowling. So Carlos Brathwaite and Ben Washes wrap up our differential picks. Our full team features Josh Philippe as keeper option, Unasha is backing as either captain or vice captain. Dan Hughes is our recommended captain. Max Bryant is there. Lewis Gregory, Dan Christian, Carlos Brathwaite, James Basley, Steve O'Keefe, Ben Dorcius, Jack Wildermuth, who's our vice captain selection, and Mujibur Rahman. Our substitutes bench features the likes of Xavier Barlett, Sam Heslett, James Vince, and Jordan Sill. Kanasha, any changes from that you'd suggest? Any swaps from that substitutes bench?
The one name I would throw in to certainly start considering when the Sixers are playing is the England seamer Jake Ball, who is now available. He's completed his quarantine over here in Australia, so he's part of the Sixers squad now, having come in as a replacement for Tom Curran, who you'll remember opted out because of bubble fatigue. Ball had a terrific T20 blast in the English season last summer. He's an experienced campaigner. He'll give the Sixers a lot of depth, and if he plays, he's the type of player who could take you a nice bag of wickets. So might take him a few games to get up to speed, so you may not want to pick him just yet, but certainly keep an eye on Jake Ball as the tournament goes on.
All right, Nasha, thank you very much for your time and your thoughts. Plenty more from you as the new year brings more Big Bash cricket action with it. Do check in with us for every game for expert opinion, data, stats, insight to help you pick your fantasy teams on my 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPN Cricinfo.